Mr Assistant Deputy President. Thank you, Mr Primrose. I rise to speak on the Crimes Legislation Amendment War Memorials Offences Bill 2025 and broadly the amendments that will be proposed. We've seen Labor following the opposition's lead on any number of initiatives and bills, the tobacco legislation a prime example, and now here's another. I echo the Honourable Susan Carter's sentiments that given the previous bills on this matter introduced by the opposition, it is disappointing that the Labor government would resort to what appears to be something akin to political one-upmanship rather than an opportunity to stand united on something so important to our communities everywhere. After all, this legislation is about respect for the law, tradition, and the sacrifice of others to preserve the very values that underpin our society. That respect shouldn't be partisan. It's something we should all share. Firstly, on the need to clarify the definition of what a memorial is. This matters greatly because our memorials take many different forms, and unless the law is clear, along with being an insult to the intent of the communities that built them, we risk leaving some unprotected. I've researched and written quite a lot about our war memorials, reflecting on their significance, their central place in the largest of our cities to the smallest hamlets, and importantly, in relation to this bill, their various incarnations, from statues to honour rolls, swimming pools to town halls. Some are grand and traditional, others are unusual, even unexpected. All, though, are a testament to remembrance, commemoration, and resilience. In highlighting the variations and the need for the explicit recognition of such, the first ever monument in Australia to the service and sacrifice of those in war was raised in 1850 in Hobart by the 99th British Regiment serving in Australia. Following the scarring conflict that was World War I, those featuring the digger with his head bowed or his face turned towards the rising sun came to be among the most familiar. However, there are also many that remain unique. The good people of Condobolin were among those to choose a clock tower, each hour of the day a reminder of the sons of their town who never returned, while Newcastle is one of the places to have a memorial swimming pool. Gundagai takes the form of a soldier with a sheep at his feet, symbolising the bond between community and service. Tiny Berriedale in the Snowy Mountains has one of the few crucifixion statues, highly significant from a heritage perspective because unusually the feet of Christ are side by side rather than crossed as is usually the case. And just a few weeks back I viewed with wonder the beauty of Tamworth's poignant Whaler light horse sculpture, a trooper farewelling his faithful steed. It's probably not as broadly known as it might be that the 243-kilometre Great Ocean Road was built by returned soldiers and referred to as the world's largest war memorial. One of the rarest in that it depicts female figures is located in the beautiful Wellington Town Park. This gracious work was unveiled in 1933. It features the imposing figure of Winged Victory mourning for her sons. To her right is a figure typifying courage and fortitude, the spirit of the women of Australia. On the left is history, inscribing in the Book of Fame, resting upon her knees, the heroic deeds of Australia's bravest and best. So are there those that have been erected by individuals as their own personal tribute of their grief, such as the Dangersley Memorial in the New England, described as the most elaborate memorial in the country. What was raised as a private expression of loss of a father of his eldest son, who had made his family promise to erect such a thing in thanks if he was spared from war, came to reflect the bereavement and pride of the wider community. There isn't a town or a village that doesn't have its own tale to tell in this regard, the importance woven into our very social fabric and therefore more than worthy of being afforded all due respect and protection. These examples that I've raised do more than simply reveal some fascinating regional history. They show that these physical manifestations of remembrance come in many forms, and as they are a reflection of life and death, Also, are they an artistic expression of community and societal values? Accordingly, we need to be precise in their description and inclusion, one more necessary step in ensuring the preservation of our society's memorials. Similarly, will the amendments to the bill speak to a clearer demonstration of what we as a society will not tolerate? When it comes to fines for damages or desecration, why should it not be the requirement for such payments to be directed to the cost of repair? Generally, it was local communities who paid for their own memorialisations, and through various means and organisations like the RSL, they continue to be responsible for protecting and preserving. Why should they be made to bear the burden of willful damage and disrespect? Penalties must properly reflect none of this will be tolerated, and it needs to be a deterrent of a level that backs this. Respect matters. Sacrifice should not be forgotten. The law must stand, as these monuments stand, as a reminder that justice, safety and respect are not optional. Ultimately, whether grand or intimate, in recognising there was no pocket of our nation left untouched, each of these precious memorials serves as a personalised marker to memories and loss, often serving as substitute graves, as well as an acknowledgement of the sacrifice and tragedy of war. Indeed, we should always be mindful that the phrase, "we will remember them," are not just words uttered on the occasions of remembrance. We must do all in our power to preserve and protect these monuments to all that we hold so dear. The opposition originally brought forward similar bills in that spirit, to strengthen respect, to deter crime, and to uphold the standards that every community in this state deserves, the very values these memorials enshrine. Lest we forget.